January of 2023, Brazil awoke to some truly shocking news. One of the nation's largest companies was on the verge of collapse. Americanas, the Brazilian retail giant, revealed a massive financial hole of over 20 billion reais. Investors were left in utter shock. The market entered a state of panic, and a single question began to circulate among analysts and banks. How could a fraud of this immense size remain hidden for so many years? For many decades, Americanas was a true symbol of Brazilian retail. Its stores were found in shopping malls and commercial streets throughout the entire country. For millions of Brazilians, it was simply impossible not to recognize the brand. The company sold everything from electronics and toys to household goods and gifts. Its growth seemed truly unstoppable. Its financial performance as well. To outside investors, the company appeared quite solid. But beneath that seemingly stable surface, something was profoundly wrong, terribly wrong. In January of 2023, the new management team officially began to thoroughly review the company's financial records. What they found was truly alarming. There were enormous inconsistencies present in the financial statements. Gigantic debts were not being properly recorded or reported. The total value of these inconsistencies exceeded 20 billion Brazilian reais. It was one of the largest accounting scandals in the entire history of Brazil. In just a matter of hours, the market quickly reacted. The shares of Americanas company plummeted. Billions of reais vanished from the company's market value. Investors began a mass sell-off of what seemed a stable company. Now, it seemed like a financial time bomb. At the heart of the scandal was a mechanism known as discounted receivables. For those unfamiliar with the term, it may seem complex, but its operation is relatively simple. Banks make advance payments to a company's suppliers. Subsequently, the company repays that full amount to the bank at a later, agreed-upon date. In practice, this functions just like a loan. The problem, however, is that these operations were not being properly registered as bank debts. Instead, these financial obligations were deliberately presented as mere accounts payable to various suppliers. While this might appear to be a relatively minor accounting difference, in the highly scrutinized financial world, such a distinction fundamentally alters everything, because companies burdened with substantial bank debt are perceived as significantly more risky by potential investors. By recording these complex financial operations in such a misleadingly different manner, Americanas appeared to have significantly less debt than it truly possessed. For years, financial reports showed a seemingly healthy company, but behind the market's reported figures, true liabilities grew silently. Investors began to ask questions. Many questions arise. How could a billion-dollar financial hole remain concealed for such a long time? Analysts have now begun to meticulously review years of financial reports. Some warning signs were indeed present, but they had previously gone completely unnoticed. Another significant point that was brought up concerned the crucial role of external audits. Major auditing firms are responsible for meticulously reviewing the financial statements of publicly traded companies. These crucial audits are meant to guarantee that the financial figures disclosed to the market are indeed trustworthy and accurate. However, in the specific case of Americanas, their financial statements had been consistently approved for several consecutive years. As the scandal came to light, questions arose about these revisions. Regulatory bodies also began to act. The Securities and Exchange Commission, known as the CVM, launched investigations. The question was clear. Was there deliberate fraud or serious corporate governance failures? The market impact was immediate. Americanas shares lost a significant portion of their value. Banks began to calculate their potential losses. Some institutions had billions of reais exposed to the company. Suppliers were also put on alert. Many depended on Americanas' sales. Suddenly, payments themselves were placed in jeopardy. Even the smaller individual investors found themselves severely affected. People who had believed they were investing in a solid, trustworthy company watched their entire life savings plummet. In the face of this escalating crisis, the company was compelled to act swiftly and decisively. The risk of bankruptcy was a real threat. The solution they found was to file for judicial reorganization. This legal process allows companies to renegotiate their debts while continuing to operate. But the path ahead would not be simple. The negotiations involve banks, investment funds, and large investors. Billions of reais in debt needed to be completely reorganized. Meanwhile, investigations were actively continuing. Executives and board members began to be questioned. Who knew about the scheme? Who approved these decisions? Who should have detected this problem much earlier? Beyond the financial impact, the scandal generated something even more significant, a profound crisis of confidence. Investors then began to scrutinize the balance sheets of other companies with much greater caution. Specialists have begun to compare the case to international scandals. Stories like the Enron case have shown that accounting fraud can happen even in giant companies. At this point in time, Brazil found itself facing a substantial corporate scandal, one that was uniquely its own. With numerous legal proceedings and extensive investigations still actively underway, the ultimate fate and future trajectory of Americanas remain profoundly uncertain. Rebuilding finances is difficult, but restoring market confidence is even more challenging because in the corporate world, a reputation takes decades to build and only a few days to be destroyed. The Americanas case has provided us with a profoundly clear lesson that transparency and robust governance are far more than just mere formalities. They are, in fact, the essential pillars for building trust in the financial market. And when these fundamental pillars unfortunately fail, the repercussions can be truly enormous.